According to Beach House Center for Recovery, 100 people die every day from drug overdoses. This rate has tripled in the past 20 years. So today I want to inform you of what my career choice is in licensed alcohol and drug counseling. I'm going to tell you about why I chose this career, the job opportunities, and the salary that you can earn. My first main point is why I chose this field. I chose this field because I was adopted as a baby. Both my birth parents were on meth, alcohol, and other drugs. When I was born, I went straight into foster care because I was going through withdrawals in the hospital. So that is a big one for me, is that I want to be able to help people overcome that addiction and hopefully stay with their families. I also have, and obviously here, but in my family now, alcoholism runs in our family. Violent shaking, hallucinations, sickness, and anxiety are just some of the symptoms of an alcoholic who's going through withdrawal. And according to Lance Stein, MD at Piedmont Transplant Institute, addiction, specifically alcohol addiction, can produce negative health consequences over time. Prolonged alcohol use can be especially toxic to the liver, which most people know that, but alcoholics seem to think that since their tolerance level is higher, it doesn't affect their liver. My second main point is job opportunities. There's quite a few different job opportunities that you can do in this field. One of them is a chemical dependency counselor. So that's just any type of abuse to alcohol, drugs, pretty much anything there. The definition of chemical dependency and substance abuse is a term to describe the abuse of drugs or alcohol. Another job opportunity is the federal prison systems. My oldest brother works in the federal prison systems as a teacher, and I have always been super intrigued by his daily life, and I enjoy helping people that don't feel like they're going to get help. So I would love to work in the prison systems. And then lastly, our recovery centers. So Redefine Recovery is a new drug and alcohol center that's coming to Faribault. They are going to be nonprofit and are hoping to also open a sober living house. So that I think will be great for this community. There's also fountain centers that would be another good one to work for. They're kind of all over. There's one in Faribault, Owatonna, Austin, and other places around here. My last thing that I want to talk to you about is the salary of a licensed alcohol and drug counselor. So the average salary is about $50,000. It can range usually anywhere from $45,000 to $56,000, but kind of right in the middle there. Tracy Sunday from Redefine Recovery is who I interviewed, and she said that the most disappointing part about her job is the salary, because LADC workers are so needed that it sucks that they can't be compensated for what they have. It's almost like the average with all the time you put in is the wage of a fast food worker. However, I still want to do it. It's still a super rewarding career, I think, by helping people overcome their addictions. And just kind of something to leave you with there is addiction is kind of like a riptide. You get brought out into it, and you seem like you can't get out of it, but there's always a way out. In conclusion, the three things that I chose to tell you about today is why I chose this field, the different job opportunities that are available, and the salary that we have and that we can get. All right, thank you. Any questions?
So what do you mainly want to focus on when you work there?
I haven't fully decided that yet. I took a class a long time ago on chemical dependencies in families, so I really enjoy the family aspect and bringing that into it.
What kind of schooling is involved in it?
So the lowest schooling you need is a bachelor's degree. So after I finish up here, my plan is to go to Mankato and get my degree there, but I'll probably end up at least getting my master's. If not my master's, then I might add mental health into it. And that's another 4 years anyway, so. Anything else?
I have more or less a comment. I appreciate people like you a lot.
Thanks.
How many people get sent to you who are in need?
It depends on where you're working. I mean, if you're in the recovery centers, a lot of that is either the family seeking help for the individual or the person themselves, or they've gone to jail and part of their stuff is to go to a recovery center.
So kind of a related question then. Where's the funding come from?
Redefine Recovery, all of their funding is donation. So I know they have a GoFundMe page, they've done like kickoffs and stuff like that. Like Fountain Centers just got bought out not too long ago from Mayo Clinic. So now Mayo kind of runs that, but.
So that would be the key, you know, pay is usually related to funding source.
Right.
If you're thinking about careers and when you said the federal prison system, if you could get a job in the federal prison system that was funded by the federal prison system, then you might have a decent salary.
Right.
But sometimes community organizations are run by grants and donations, which is very uneven and usually not a high level. So, and I think in the ministry, I think you've got some of that working too, is that, you know, it's, where does it come from? You got to think of where the money comes from. So even with you for supply and demand, there might be a demand, but where's the money come from? And if it comes mostly from donations, we're generous people. We're not always generous enough really for some of these things. So interesting. Glad you guys are thinking about salaries. It's not the only thing to think about, but you don't want to be surprised. You don't want to pick a career and then be surprised by the salary. You want to know about the salary when you pick a career. Because then, you know, if salary's not high, like it's not in teaching, sometimes you have to go in for passion. If you don't have passion and you don't have salary, pick another field. It's got to be something. You got to have one or the other, and both would be great, but that's not always possible. Thank you. I once gave some